that John and I wrote for Mom for her 60th birthday.
She's like 70 now.
I am not.
Or 80.
The nuclear holocaust has already taken place. Yeah, this is from within our bunker. Okay, this is called Mama's Poem. Welcome to the Rhyme Builders Diane's home. A two-story, true story, all your own. This is coming to you live, not over the phone. Call the doctor, will be sickened in the form of a poem.
In 1950, born in a log cabin, your family's so happy finding out what was happening. You came as your mother's firstborn, got new clothes, ain't hardly been worn. Your dad was crunching numbers for Geneva Steel. Your birth didn't add up, but you were too good of a deal. Having kids can be a gamble, but it was worth a try. Doubled down, took a chance, and Tony rolled the die.
Die like Diane. Oldest of the siblings, you ruled the roost. And with Kippy off the leash, the dogs were loosed. Good to your siblings, loved by Ruthie, but you ruined their lives by going to sleazy movies. Mark is still scarred, Paul doesn't really say. You and Jane saw Hard Day's Night for a whole day. Grandma didn't like it, she thought it was evil, but Diane, you didn't really care, you just loved the Beatles.
Wanted to help the student body, you became a rep. You helped them the most by presiding over Pep. The most beautiful girl, you always had your pick, but somehow the best you did was a guy named Tick. High school was good, you were full of knowledge, but Carl G. Mazer wanted you in college. You wanted to go solo, but that was a no-go. You stayed home, went to school in your hometown of Provo. At the Y, you loved being a Zuby. Your life was a fairy tale like the Ever After movie.
Then across the Atlantic, it was fantastic, dealing with Paris traffic, your plans were elastic, the art was classic. Lots of European food, even baklava, single-handedly broke up Yugoslavia.
Back at school, you learned to teach little kiddies, but love was in the air, you got kind of giddy. When you met Dave Merrill, you thought he was alright, and he scared you off and you went to Hawaii. He proposed on the porch and you started to cry. You were real upset, but Jane said you would marry that guy. Our father stole your heart and he pleased you more than even Paul McCartney.
Kids, grandkids, that's the rest of the story, but we don't want to be boring ye. So here's an adventure with me and John. Abducted by aliens, this is where the poem goes wrong.
Bright lights, white room, black eyes looking down. Laser incisors, mouth made clicky sounds. Pulled down the levitation glue and the proton disruptor. They boiled my bowels, made me lose my supper. I threw up over the operation table and the board for 40 chess. The aliens were so upset that I had made such a mess. They threw me and cut us out of the ship with some tractor beam scissors, which I thought was rather rude for a bunch of visitors. What's wrong? You guys don't like this gross out humor? Everyone laughs at this stuff, even little boys with tumors. What, you didn't like that either? I'm sorry, I guess my rhymes are just catching fever. I'm sick. I'm a sick man. You already knew this. So before you start to boo me and you start to hiss, pity this small man who can't control what he rhymes, but who can change directions. So let me stop on a dime, flip this around, go back in time.
1976, pick up sticks. Here's a good trick. Rebecca's born and into the mix. 1978, ain't it great? Can't segregate. Doug's born, not a minute too late. 1979, feeling mighty fine. Got flu like the swine. Without rhyme or rhyme.
Rhythm.
Oh, rhythm or rhyme. Those look really similar. It's Wendy's time. She's got to shine. 1982, life felt incomplete. Even with 3 snotty kids at your feet. Wanted to make a real contribution to the world. In came John and your plan unfurled. You thought that you were in heaven, then along came Jeff in 1987. The day of his birth, you were all in tears, not because you were happy, but because your kid had 3 ears. You took one look, said this thing has to go, so you chopped it off like he was Vincent van Gogh. With your 5th child, you had reached perfection. Like Kermit, you got to your rainbow connection.
You love your life, being a mother, with all that he said, she said, from sister to brother. It was so real you didn't need to watch soap operas, even with all the drama that never stopped you. Must have been a BTA since the day I was born. You probably were given like 20 golden acorns. Best best mom we could have asked for. Always picked up our messy floors. When you got mad, we'd just hear the cupboard slam. We felt so sorry that we'd upset you, ma'am.
Seminary days teaching kids in the morning, it came like a tsunami without warning. Seminary is the best, you don't need the rest. Sleep when you get home, you need to go teach the Book of Mormon. Then your kids grow up, go get it, you in-laws, and some dogs with big hearts and thin paws. 2 new sons, 2 new daughters, Adobe some setters, no Cocker Spaniel, doped Danny Boy Phoenix, and also Seth, Liz, Christy, and Daniel.
And Allie.
And Allie, yeah. These guys are so great, they probably didn't just get offended, even though, you know, that's exactly what we intended. Grandkids keep coming, and you love them fully, and they love you more than those people in the Hudson love Sully.
With kids and grandkids, sometimes you want to... With kids and grandkids, sometimes you want to strap on muzzles. But it's okay, you deal with stress by being addicted to online puzzles. Now that's the end of the poem, but not the end of your life. Much more to be written about our favorite grandma, mom, and wife. Time for birthday wishes, the poem's becoming a bore. You've lived 60 years, we hope 60 more. Years full of fast living, merry making and mirth. We hope you go out like you lived as the oldest woman on earth.